I think you're right, and there's a lot of people that still have to be reached as well. And we're going to do that. We're reaching millions and millions of people every day, and we're going to continue to do that all over the world. There's an enlightenment that's happening, and it's not going to stop, and we're going to be successful.
We don't have really an alternative, because we know if this country winks out, the bankster gangsters get their way. This has been the only stronghold that has been here, and we've actually tripped up the globalists for quite some time with this attitude. And most Americans still hold this attitude in their hearts that, we're self-determining, we're free, we've got liberty, and even though it's being stolen away at every given second, every tick of the clock. But this stiff-necked lot of people here, this group of people called Americans, we've really been the bane to the globalists. That's why they're trying to destroy us at a rapid rate. The whole Geithner crew, what they've done with the banking bailout, the consolidation, everything else has been all planned. And they are very, very close to taking control. But with that, it's the old saying, the iron fist with the velvet glove, the tighter they squeeze, the more that slips through their fingers. And I believe that is happening right now.
Well, I'll tell you, they have to be really concerned, because the information is getting out, and I don't think that they believe that people would understand what was going on when they pulled this latest caper of taking the world economy and finance down and destroying financial and economic civilization the way they're in the process of doing. People know what they're doing. Wall Street won't say anything, and banking won't, but the public is, and we're getting to the public, whether it's in Argentina or Kazakhstan or India. We're picking up subscribers all over the world, and people are, I tell them in that part of the world, you've got to reproduce the publication and hand it out to hundreds and hundreds of people, or at least send it to them via email. And the same thing, we have people now who are going back to Afghanistan to fight, who are in the military, and they're taking the international forecaster with them. They receive it, twice a week, and they're spreading the word among the military that already doesn't know. A good many of them do. And so there's lots of stuff going on that people don't know about that is extraordinarily powerful.
It's a relatively small group of people, but there's a lot of people on board with their disinformation campaign, with their psychological operations. And I had heard somebody earlier today on the radio talking about how the people here in this country have been so dumbed down and mind-controlled. They're starting to feel the pain, and it's people like myself, my job, and you folks in the listening audience, okay? I want you to understand this. That is just not us here. It's just not Bob Chapman that does the international forecaster that was running around with Tony Hilder, back in the day. These people have set the groundwork. They've gathered the information. They've done the work. They've been there, done the work. Now it's up to us to spread that word and to get this thing moving, because enough of the jaw bumping here, the endless dialogue about the problem, Bob. It's now time to take action. Now, before you go, Bob, I just wanted to clarify one thing here, because this was disturbing when I got this email, that somehow that I'm being duped here. I'm in on the plan that, the end of the Fed is just playing into the bankers' hands. Now, when you said that, look, we can end the Fed, end their charter, do away with these people. Okay, first off, what do we replace the Federal Reserve System with, and how do we dump the debt that they have gotten us into? How do we get out from under it?
Well, the first thing is to have the U.S. Treasury take over for the Fed and assume the same role that they did before. That's not a big thing. Getting rid of the debt is much more difficult. And if the United States government has gold, they could, and of course it's in the U.S. Treasury if they in fact have it, they could reback the dollar with gold. There's nothing that says that they couldn't do that. And then I think that would stop the depreciation or some of it on gold, and we would have to figure out a way to be able to pay back our debts. And one of those ways would be to set up tariffs, and everybody else would do the same thing, on goods and services so that we could protect our industries, so that we could put people back to work, so that we wouldn't be cashiering to automobile companies and keeping people working, paying taxes. And, of course, the money that we would receive from the tariffs would help, and we'd be able to get back on our feet. So I think those elements are the most important. And hopefully we do still have the gold. I doubt it, but that doesn't mean that we couldn't try to accumulate it.
Well, and I've said this before, and before I talk to the great minds such as yourself, people had asked me, okay, we get rid of the Federal Reserve, what do we do? Well, it has been done before. Money is just a marker of an exchange of goods and services, labor, all that other thing. The problem that we have had is that money has been made available, capital has been made available to people to build, to borrow in order to, advance and do whatever else. But it was a self-defeating time bomb mechanism that was set to implode just by the virtue of what it is to begin with. So in the meantime, if we have a currency that bears zero interest, and that's medium of exchange, that is light years ahead of what we have right now. Then we could go in and get rid of the debt, so to speak, and then reformulate a new money that was backed by a currency. Currency was backed by gold or silver. We set the value of it, and we get on with this. Bob Chapman, thank you for coming up today. I know you didn't expect it, but I thank you for joining us today.
Oh, that's nothing at all. I'm happy to do it.
All right, and we will see you Tuesday.
Okay, I'll be there.
Thank you, Bob.